and today we've got a reading for you about somebody who has some sort of um, like public facing position. Maybe they're a pillar of the community. Maybe a lot of people take them seriously because of their accomplishments or what they've contributed to the community. This could be somebody who is seen as very wealthy or well-to-do. But there's a scandal coming out regarding how they treat a family member. Now, we've got child here, so probably for the majority of you, this is about how somebody is maybe mistreating or neglecting a child, maybe not even willing to admit that it's their child. But there could also be, for some of you, a scandal about a parent or a sibling that they have mistreated or, failed to acknowledge for a long time. And this is becoming a scandal for whoever this is. So let's call in spirit with a little bit of wind chime time. And I hope you're having a good day so far. Hello, Aqua Beauty. Hello, April. Hello, Andy. What's going on? Hello, Grindheart. If you're interested in a personal reading, I would love to do one for you. My email address is wickedwandstarot@gmail.com. It's in the description box for you, as is more information on how to become a member. Thank you to the current members. Let's dive in. I think we'll start with, we're going to go with the Tarot of the Cat People. Hello, Jordan. How are you doing? All right, what else do we have? I don't know. Is it too dark in here? I think it's okay. I have a new candle. If I need to light it, I can. All right. What do we have? King of Swords in the reverse. Three of Swords in the reverse. And the Nine of Cups. So this is someone, our official person is the King of Swords in the reverse as well. This is somebody who has made a lot of effort or over a long period of time made efforts to make it seem like everything is fine. So they don't hint at any like discord or disruption to the relationship. This would be like saying everything's fine at home with the hope that people don't actually find out that someone's been sent away or somebody is dealing with legal problems. They don't want anybody to know what's going on, which kind of makes sense if they're in the public eye, right? Hello, Key Controller. How are you doing? What else do we have? Four of Pentacles in the reverse. The Seven of Pentacles. And the Three of Wands. So somehow the truth is discovered that this official person or King of Swords in the reverse is not treating their family member very well, is giving less than they should, or outright denying their obligation. And with the Three of Wands, it feels to me like there's someone here who decides to take action because they are fed up. So if this is a child custody situation or a child support situation, this could be like the other parent. If this is, whether or not you're caring for your elderly parent, then maybe a sibling is speaking up. But I do feel like this official person / King of Swords in the reverse is called out by somebody within their own inner circle. Hello, Sundar. How are you doing? Hello, Angel. We've got Knight of Wands and the Eight of Cups. That basically this King of Swords in the reverse has said they've done right by their obligation when they may have only done like the very first thing required of them and then completely stopped answering or responding or paying or visiting. With the Eight of Cups, this is like abandonment. I know what I'm supposed to do. I know what I promised I would do, but I decided I didn't really want to do that. So, oh well. They have like better plans. They don't want to see their family member. They don't want to care for this family member, but they feel like they have to make it look like everything is fine. But the fact that they have lied about this is coming out. Ace of Swords in the reverse, Ace of Pentacles. This is like, we know you have the money, so why are you denying someone that you tell everybody you care about what they need, you know? Maybe they haven't gotten the healthcare they need. Maybe they haven't gotten just like the FaceTime. Like, are you actually like seeing your child as they grow up? Are you leaving your mother abandoned somewhere, you know? This is what somebody feels they need to bring to other people's attention, perhaps in part because this King of Swords in the reverse is like consistently telling people that everything is good or that there's like nothing to worry about, or maybe even to some bragging about how great they are with regards to being a son, daughter, mom, father, whatever it might be. So we have the Star in the reverse, the King of Cups, and the Fool in the reverse. So now we have someone's emotional connections being used to display to a broader community exactly who they are, and who they are is not a very nice person, apparently. Hello, CJ. Hello, Shamika. Hello, John. Hello, Rosie. How you doing? Hello, is it Sanocho? How are you doing? Let's get a different tarot deck, shall we? Let's see. This is the Cat's Eye Tarot. Sorry, I just got some new ones. It's not always easy to remember all the names. Good morning, Dylan. Hello, Danny. How are you doing? Also, apologies if you hear my stomach growl. Apparently, I've started to get hungry, so you might hear it. It's all right. I have a very healthy chocolate croissant for breakfast waiting for me after this, so that'll be nice. All right, so we have the Five of Wands in the reverse and the Sun in the reverse. So now they have to think about how to handle this little question mark, or how people are viewing them. People that are saying, like, you seem pretty heartless. Now they have to try to come up with a story or an excuse or blame someone else, because this King of Swords in the reverse is quite comfortable with lying. But every time they try to come up with a different excuse, it seems kind of difficult to come up with something that makes logical sense. In other words, they're kind of at an impasse here with regards to the details that have been included and the expectations of them, in part because of their own mouth, what they've been saying about themselves being a great person, right? I'm doing well, thank you. It does, right, Dylan? Hey, GB. I don't drink, but thanks for the compliment. I hope you're having a good day. Hello, Van. How are you doing? I'm sorry you don't understand my beliefs, but you're a stranger to me, so that kind of makes sense. I'm going to remove your comment and put you in a little timeout, because I do expect people to be, you know, respectful in the live chat, okay? Hey, Grindhard, thank you. Let me write that down real quick. React to conversation yesterday around 4 p.m. Aw, that's so sweet to hear. Good. Is she... Do you want me to say, like, is she feeling closer to you? Because that would be, I think, a little bit more like getting her feelings, right? And then we've got, is she ready to... What are you asking me to ask right now? I'm gonna alter that question. And then we've got, hold on, I've got one more that I have to write. Oh, good. Hold on. Feeling more comfortable, okay. All right, I got you. Okay, good. Sounds good, Grindhard. Hello, Patrick. Hello, Robert. Hello, Charlie. How you doing? Hello, Brett. Hello, Ride. What's going on? Hello, Cynthia. Hello, Matt. Hello, Atlas. How are you doing? All right, so basically we've got someone who feels like they were able to lie successfully about the role they play in their family and whether they're a good parent or a good spouse or whatever. But the truth is, coming out and people are realizing that they have, sorry, I'm lighting another candle, that they have been dishonest and have not done right by their obligations to this family member. The child card came out, so it could be a reference to a child. They could be the child, right? It could be how they're dealing with their parent. But it also seems to be someone who's trying to look more innocent than they really are. Now someone is stepping forward and they have a more accurate picture of what this person's actually doing. They're focused on themselves. They don't really seem to be too preoccupied with how their family member is doing. In fact, it seems like they kind of look at it as, you know, that last step of laundry that everybody hates. Like, do I have to go see that person? Do I have to pay that bill? Do I have to be responsible, right? Glad to hear it, Robert. Hello, Rupinder. How are you doing? Wow. We've got a runaway card. I messed up my tablecloth. All right, so we've got the Four of Cups in the reverse. There's someone here who decided to get a little bit inquisitive because there was something they noticed about this family member of the King of Swords in the reverse. Maybe it was the quality of care. Maybe it was where they lived. Maybe it was what kind of clothing they had. But I do feel like this person has a desire to see the King of Swords in the reverse kind of put in a difficult spot. But I also think they have a genuine care for this individual who is not being cared for the way that they should be. Hello, Mavis. How you doing? Hello, Clanker. Hello, Broken. How are you doing? I don't really play in that space league, but removing is perhaps a bit easier depending on what it is. Salt baths, line of salt around your house or your apartment, cutting the cord, those kind of things. But YouTube does have quite a lot about that. Are you trying to scare me, Clinker? It's not gonna work. Hello, Carrie. How are you doing? So look, we've got somebody who has no idea how to deal with this moment. The Tower is leaving them kind of speechless. I've been caught with my hand in the cookie jar, and I can't really blame anyone else because if I tried to speak, the cookie would probably fall out of my mouth. Like, this is someone who they really can't lie, even though they have been lying for so long. We have the King of Swords in the reverse again. They're like, go-to method is, how can I lie about this? Six of Cups in the reverse and the Six of Wands in the reverse. The problem is, this is something over a long period of time where they failed to do what they were supposed to do, and there's really no excuse for it. They can't lie about it. They have just failed, pure and simple. They've not been there. They have not done what they were supposed to do. So they don't like this because they like being seen as respectable and in charge, someone who should be, you know, looked up to and considered with, I don't know, almost like a thank you for your service type, or thank you for investing in our town, that kind of thing. They are losing that solid reputation that they had because of this information. We have the King of Swords, Ten of Pentacles in the reverse, Four of Pentacles in the reverse, and the World. Yeah, this is someone who has maybe even like posted pictures of them with this family member, like, look at me, I'm so great at this. But they have left this distant, like they have a separation physically, right? Maybe they live in different cities, maybe they live in different states or even countries, but they have stayed away from this person and let them not really do so well on their own. So I think there's maybe a news article or someone who's bringing this to the attention of other family members, but it ends up becoming a matter of interest. That even though you have the resources, even though you have the time, you did none of those things in order to be there for this family member. Did I say hello to Carrie? I think I did. Thank you, Robert. I appreciate that. So we've got the Emperor and the Four of Cups. So it was perhaps pretty important to them to have this reputation as being someone who does things the right way or being respected before they went into a situation where they would be judged. This could be a legal situation. This could be, you know, dealing with child custody. This could be someone who's running for office or someone who is trying to get, you know, a change made in terms of how much money is paid in child support. But there's something here where this information comes out at like the worst time for them, because it makes it clear that whatever they've demanded or whatever they've argued is BS, you know? Good, I'm glad. It's never bad to get a double though, right? Hello. So we have a High Priestess. What they were trying to keep secret, what they really didn't want to come out at that decision-making situation or where the public is figuring out whether or not they support this person. You know, the Emperor could be like a judge. Wait, do judges get voted in? This is like the worst time because it impacts their own professional path or how people around them view them. But as it should, right? They've been lying about what they've been doing. They've been trying to make it seem like they do right by their obligations because it's important to people that they do right by other obligations. So wouldn't you want to know if you were hiring someone like a general contractor and they walked off the last job? They're trying to hide that type of information from people who are making a decision regarding this person's character. Thank you, Jordan. All right, sounds good. You're so welcome. And I would guess I'll start that in probably about 12 minutes, okay? Hello, Kings, how you doing? So the secret comes out and it's going to impact a decision or a proceeding, public opinion, whether or not they get reelected or hired, something like that. And while they've been trying to make it seem like they really are a person of strong moral character, strength in the reverse shows that they have you know, not so great self-control or they haven't prioritized things correctly. And this King of Cups, this is, I think, someone who has seen what was going on or someone who is impacted. This could be like a co-parent, for example. This could be a sibling. But they know what's going on and they're like, you know what? I think it's probably time that people know what really happens with this person. This is the Energy Oracle. Yeah, it's like a smaller box. I don't know how it looks from your perspective. Well, I guess I kind of do. But for whatever reason, YouTube likes it better. Well, actually, I think it's because people are more likely to be on their cell phone when they're watching content. So they're like actively discouraging me from using my laptop to record, which is interesting. Hello, Jackie. How are you doing? Has there been any talk about me today? Miraculously, I have space in between the lines, so I got you added in there, grind hard. Thank you. Hello, En France. How are you doing? All right, so we have the goddess of the moon and the third chakra, Archangel Shamuel. The third chakra is the throat chakra, which is tied to self-expression. And that makes a lot of sense because there's someone here who is speaking up on behalf of or allowing their voice to be heard, whoever this family member is, right? This person who hasn't been treated the way that they should have been by this King of Swords in the reverse. So there's protective energy here, but it's also quite clear that the goddess of the moon is tied to this high priestess, which is secretive energy. The truth always outs, right? This is somebody who gets caught lying in spectacular fashion. So they don't get their way. I'll work on it, Mavis. No worries, Grindhard. I got time. I'm using a different piece of paper instead of, because I ran out of Post-it notes. All right. We have another angel. And then hostilities. That makes a lot of sense, especially because the dude who's depicted on the hostilities card has a sword, kind of like that King of Swords. Let's keep in mind, does not have to be a man, right? These are energies that I'm reading, not body parts. But we have somebody here who has the truth and somebody who has been walking around pretending like they are telling the truth. And now they're going to have to explain why they lied. It's going to be super exciting for them. They're going to hate it. Sorry. But you shouldn't lie, right? They were trying to make themselves sound better because they didn't want to deal with the fallout. Hello, Lyle. How are you doing? Ooh, that sounds like fun. I hope you're having a good day, Mamie. Hello, Cassidy. I really don't like it when people tell me what to say, so please don't do that. Hello, Lance. I'm doing well. How are you? Yep, exactly. Oh no, the consequences of my own actions. Who could have ever thunk it? This might be one of my new favorites. This is the Spanish Tarot. I believe it was printed in 78, I think, which is pretty cool. All right. We've got the Four of Wands in the reverse, the Hermit in the reverse, and the Fool. Can I just tell you how much I love that in Spanish it says El Loco? I don't know. Maybe I didn't show you that card long enough. Look at how cool that is. It's a little trippy, right? Here's the Four of Wands in the upright. In the reverse, it looks like this. But I'm telling you, this person has made a problem for themselves. It's like they were about to skateboard down like the biggest hill in San Francisco, and then before they did so, they decided to like sprinkle a line of broken glass at the worst curve. Like, why are you doing that to yourself? You don't think that's gonna be a problem for you? They really didn't think anybody would find out what was really going on, or at least not in the right time. Like before this decision was made, before they could really deal with the fallout. Isn't it cool? Hello, Grant. How are you doing? Did I say hello to Outlaw? I think I did. Thank you for liking and subscribing. I appreciate it. Hello, MS. I've got like a whole channel page and everything for that, but I'm Carmen. So we've got the Four of Cups in the reverse. And this is the same thing that we got over here. Someone decides to do a little research. Someone decides to look into the finances, to look into who is there at activities, who's visiting regularly, who's bringing gifts, who's paying for things that they should. There's questions here, and the answers make this King of Swords in the reverse nervous because they don't support the story that they've been saying. So we've got El Rey de Copas, the King of Cups, and the Nine of Wands. But I'm promising you, I'm a good person. No. Maybe I lied about it, but like, I'm still a good person. I only lie like 40% of the time. Is that good? 30%? Should I say? How about 20%? There's nothing they can say here because they've made a lie about ongoing behavior. Like, what are you gonna say? Oops, I forgot about all those 18 times I was a jerk. Like, oops, I forgot about all those payments that I didn't make when I told you and provided evidence that I had made those. Whoopsies. Like, I don't know. Hello, Jose. How are you doing? Absolutely. So we've got the Knight of Swords and the Five of Swords. Oh, there's writing on here. It even says made in Spain. Heraclio Fournier. That's interesting. So in their maybe less informed or like hasty desire to defend themselves and make them sound like the hero, make them sound like the better parent, or make them sound like they were a great person for city council. Whatever it is, their bragging is proved to be a lie. It's like, okay, don't come for me in the comments. Don't be mad at me. But it's like somebody lying about their height or lying about what they look like when they are trying to go on a date with you. Like, I'm not going to necessarily bring a tape measure, but if you say that you're 6'2" and then you're not, or if you say that, I don't know, maybe I shouldn't even go there, but you know what I'm saying. This is somebody who knew it was going to come out eventually, and they lied anyway. Yes, hubris. Hey, but April, it's like spooky season, so it makes sense that it was changed to mummy. Yep, exactly. Did I say hello to Carla? How are you doing? So we've got El Diablo, which is the devil, the Seven of Pentacles. So I like that the devil's in the reverse. This is saying we have somebody who, despite their best efforts, they didn't fail as spectacularly as they probably should have. What I'm getting at is whoever this person is that has not been cared for the way that they should have. It could be multiple children. It could be two parents, whatever it is. Somehow there's someone who has stepped up and has been helping them, or there's someone who's been like kind of taking them under their wing, even if it's not their own parent or family member. It could just be a really sweet person at an old folks home, you know? Like, there's someone here who has been trying to keep this person safe or happy, taking over from those obligations that should have actually fallen to the King of Swords in the reverse, and that the King of Swords in the reverse likes to brag about doing a good job at. You know? So, look, this is somebody who now they have to explain their absence. Now they have to explain why they haven't paid the bills, or now they have to explain why they've been spending child support money frivolously. There's something here where they were hoping that the love that they have, or the reputation they've built up, the pictures that they posted on social media, that'll be enough. It'll prove something. But like, if you show up for 5 minutes just so you can take a picture of you with your family member and show everybody online how good of a person you are, and then you walk away after that, like, there's gonna be things that eventually make it quite clear what they've done, right? Oh, good luck on your dream job. Alex, I do often do personal questions at the end of the general reading with preference to those who tip, but I do also like to work in some free questions now and then. I will warn you though, when I'm hungry, I am less likely to do that, and I am currently hungry, so it might be better on the next line. Hello, one who possess. I already had to give the warning about my stomach may be growling. And I think I successfully talked over one earlier, so if you spot it, that'll be amazing. We have the Seven of Cups, illusion, 10 of Wands in the reverse becomes a problem and causes somebody to fail. So now that we know that you've lied to us about how you were spending the money, now that we know that you've lied to us about fulfilling your obligations as a parent or as, you know, a guardian, explain to me why we should allow you to have any benefit. Explain to me why we should give you any credit. Explain to me why we shouldn't, like, hold you in contempt. I don't know. This is somebody who's got some serious problems because they felt like it was cool to lie. And look, you know what? I'm sure that there have been white lies that haven't been a big deal, but this person lied about behavior over time that was not difficult to disprove. So many people out here lying, they don't even know how to do it. It's like, could you at least respect me enough to not insult me in addition to lying to me? Like, if you look at me and you're like, the sky is red and it's blue, and all I have to do is look up and I can see that you're lying. Like, now you call me dumb too, you know? Anyways, this person is looking foolish because they didn't do a very good job of lying. No, that would be like quesadito, no? Or quesadita, right? I don't know, but I really do like it when people say quesadilla. Yep. All right, what do we have? Did I tell you this is the Gypsy Oracle? I think I did, but someone told me I looked hungover, so I guess I blacked out, you guys. I'm sorry. We've got foe and malady in the reverse. Malady being a reference to illness, not a very popular word over here anyways. I don't know. You can tell me I'm wrong, but I don't think people really say that very much here. So look, this is somebody who made excuses. Oh, I was sick, I couldn't do that. Or your family member is sick and you don't go care for them. Like, bring them some soup. You know, put a compress on their head. Whatever it is, this person was very hands-off. I don't want to deal with that. I don't want to be a part of it. I've got better things to do. Or I'd rather spend my money in a different way. I don't think you really need it. That kind of thing. No worry, James. Yeah, I think when you have control over your emotions, I'm not saying I have like complete control, but that is the goal, right? I think you got to be really cognizant of who you let ruffle your feathers. Like, who's trying to insult you? What do they really know about you? If you can just not even give them the satisfaction of making you upset, then maybe they'll learn to find a better way to use their energy. But I don't know. It's just easier on my mental health to not let things upset you, you know? You just pick and choose, like, what is actually a problem, right? You speak Spanglish? I like it. Wasn't that a movie? Like, Adam Sandler or something? We have old woman in the reverse. Someone not acting their age. Surprise in the reverse. Someone who should have seen the outcome of the situation before it happened. There could have been a lapse in payments regarding mortgage, rent, or if somebody is in a medical facility, the bills for that facility. But with house in the reverse, I feel like we have somebody who was not given what they need of like the 5 basics, right? this is probably the crux of the situation. So you promised you would give that person medicine. You promised you would pay for that person's healthcare. You promised that you would take them, you know, to pick up this prescription. There's something important to their health or their security that was lapsed on or not taken seriously. And this King of Swords in reverse thought they could lie about it and pretend like they were some great person. I speak Mexican food. Guys, stop. You're going to make me crave Mexican food today. It's not fair. Oh, I don't know about all that. If you would like to post that in English, you are welcome to repost it, but I don't know what that says. Hello, Nelson. I'm a Pisces too. Hello, August. So we've got money in the reverse. More and more, this is looking like we have somebody who didn't pay for something or used money in a lame way, right? I was supposed to pay for my kids' school trip, and instead I decided I needed to go buy a car for myself. You know, like they're not doing something, well, I don't know, maybe that's actually practical, but you know, like I'm trying not to insult somebody's hobbies. They spent money frivolously instead of doing what they needed to do, instead of what they had an obligation to do right by this family member. And with the Nine of Cups coming out earlier, it kind of looks like it's because they're selfish, right? Hello, Miss Manu. How you doing? Thank you for the tip. We'll see 54. Government residence. Will it be lucky for you? Be lucky. I got you. Thank you. That's ridiculous. I don't know how people do that and like sleep at night. All right, so we've got the cats rule the earth. Oh my gosh, I've gone way too long. I need to start on the personal questions. I'm gonna hold these for the personal questions, and I'm just gonna do, what should I wrap it up with the situation stack? I'm sorry guys, and then I'll start on those personal questions, okay? All right, so what do we need to know about the consequences here? This is somebody who visits probably the family member unexpectedly and maybe does an interview or maybe gets some answers from the staff if they live in a facility that is run by others, and they find out the truth. This King of Swords in reverse didn't think anybody would notice, didn't think anybody would go to actually that facility and figure it out. And it does feel like we've got a divorce somewhere in the mix here. But remember that irreconcilable differences, this can also be talking about like a parent-child relationship where you went no contact with somebody because they were just that manipulative. There's something here where there's an argument or a break, and it impacts how somebody treats another person or how somebody kind of like acts out. Oh, what are you doing hiding here, mister? I don't know if you guys can see this. You kind of can. You see this right here? This dude is hiding. He doesn't belong here. That deck was up here. I don't know. The Knight of Wands. Look at that. The wands in this deck, they're hilarious. I love it. So I feel like there was somebody who got information they maybe shouldn't have gotten. This is like, okay, you go talk to so-and-so and I'm going to sneak into the records office. I'm going to see if it's been paid. I don't know, man. I think there's some kind of like being sneaky for good energy here. Like tiptoeing. All right, I'm going to start with, oh wait, no, I said I would use this. I'm going to start with those personal questions. We've got Grindheart up first, and then Jordan, and then Miss Manu. So for Grindheart, the first question is, How did future wifey react to the conversation from yesterday around 4 p.m.? Ace of Cups. The Star. Damn. Wait, will I get in trouble for that? YouTube, don't be mad. It's like a low-level curse. It's not even that big of a deal. Ace of Cups is love. Star is like healing, happy energy, but also a sense of like destiny. This is very lovey-dovey. And then we have Strength in the reverse. That's the only concern for me. Strength in the reverse makes me feel like there's a possibility that she just is like kind of giving in and not keeping those walls up. But there's a better way to communicate that. So with Strength in the reverse, there's something here about maybe she might be questioning herself as far as whether or not she's really ready. So there could be some back and forth in the thought process about you. But I do like that Ace of Cups. Is she feeling closer to him? Yes. And I would say of all the cards in the deck, the Ace of Swords is the most like capital letters, yes. Affirmative answer. And with the Five of Cups, it looks like there's something here that she is working to let go of from her past because she doesn't want to stay in that energy. Is she ready to be physical? That's how I'm going to ask it. No. No, she's not. Ten of Pentacles, because she is still trying to make sure that it's like long-term intentions. Two Cups and Four Pentacles in the reverse, but there's something that she feels emotionally is happening between the two of you. I like it. Is she feeling more comfortable with him? Yes. So this is interesting. I see it as kind of like a little side note. If there's something that you've been hesitating to share about yourself that may make you feel vulnerable, and you haven't quite decided whether or not now is the time, I do feel like you're going to get a sign within the next 8 days that it's time to tell that thing to her, whatever that is. And has there been talk about grind hard today? From her, I assume, but I'll ask about her family too. From her, yes, she has been talking about you today. From her family, no. So she has mentioned something though. Has it been positive? It's more inquisitive. It's like she's trying to figure out how to process something or how to like almost like judge something about you, which makes it sound negative, but it's like, do you think this is good? Do you think that's what I think it is? Or is this like emotional manipulation? All right. You know we're rooting for you, right? Wait, are you calling yourself a hoe? All right, that makes more sense. Have a good rest of your day, hun. We're moving on to Jordan. I'm going to get a different tarot deck real quick. Let's see. We're going to go with the Tarot of the Nile. You like Egypt, don't you, Jordan? Maybe? I think you do. What do we have for Jordan, please? 4 of Wands, I like that. 8 of Wands. King of Pentacles. Oh, I like this for you. This is saying you have a leveling up or a bossing up situation happening. I do feel like this is going to affect your stability or security. So this could be financially related, professionally, your living situation, but this is you moving on up, and I don't see it being something that happens over a long period of time. It's like there's multiple things that are positive or good news for you in you know, relatively quick succession. Knight of Pentacles. It starts small. It's like each blessing is better than the last, but it requires some trust in a different direction or in a place that maybe other people would be a little bit hesitant to think they could flourish. Three of Swords in the reverse and the Queen of Wands. There's something that you have healed or let go of or addressed in a very mature way that closes out a cycle. Your manifestation powers are greater than they've been in the past because of this movement within your soul or your heart. And it's drawing in good things for you. So I want you to imagine that Christmas Day, if you celebrate Christmas, or whatever gift-giving holiday, right? It's not just a day for you this year. It's like the whole rest of the year, maybe a little bit into the next year. I just want you to imagine that there's just all these gifts that are going to come in for you. Because if you're this Queen of Wands right now, like, take advantage of it. And one thing in particular I'll recommend for people is for 17 seconds, manifest something. Say, I will instead of I want or I wish, as if it's already happening. 17 seconds, maybe daily. But you're manifesting big time. I like that for you. All right. Miss Manu, we've got, will my C54 government residence be lucky for me? This says no. There's something here that initially looks good or like aligned with what you need or what is expected, and it ends up being not as good. However, this could be a temporary thing because then there's the Ace of Pentacles. So it could be a matter of at the outset, it's not. Ooh. Seven of Pentacles in the reverse, Two of Cups in the reverse. Is this because there's someone that lives there to be avoided? No. Is this because there's an influence from like family or friends? Yes. So there's someone here in your life that you're connected to. It could be a coworker, it could be a romantic interest, it could be a family member, but there's a third party. Well, I don't know if I should say third party. There's someone else here who makes things difficult for you. I don't get that they live within the same residence or in the same like block, but it's someone connected to you that makes this difficult for you, and you may end up separating. You may not be friends with them anymore, you may not date them anymore, whatever this is. When that changes, then all of a sudden it's like the living situation's better or luckier. So you might have someone that's not very lucky in your inner circle, and that could impact things. Interesting. I'm glad to hear that, Reinhard. Little Angel would like to know, when will I meet my friend? It's looking a little doubtful that it will happen, to be honest. I do feel like there's someone here who's being dishonest to you. That your friend may not have told you the whole story or may not be honest with you about what they're hoping for between the two of you. So be cautious, and I would advise you to find joy around you as much as you seek it in other people, right? Don't put too many eggs in this basket, because they would have to be honest with you before something serious could happen, right? Hello, Lloyd. How are you doing? Hello. Is it Ami? So Nelson asked for reading. I'll pull a few cards for Nelson, and then I'm probably going to go eat some food. All right. What do we have for Nelson? Magician in the reverse. 8 of Pentacles. Strength and the Hermit. This seems to be a little bit of a heads up that there's someone very manipulative or like conniving with regards to your profession or what you do for money. So in my mind, the way I see that is somebody who's like trying to watch your keystrokes or trying to catch you not doing your work on time. But I feel like you're walking this tightrope or you're doing things that you need to. So with this little bit of insight, knowing that there are people who are maybe a little bit ridiculous with their expectations or how they're approaching you, just continue to do the good work that you do, but be aware that there's somebody here trying to like catch you messing up, right? I feel like it's unfair, but it's important to know, I guess. All right, one more. Burton, do I find love in October? Does Burton find love in October? Yeah, you do. Towards the end of it. Make sure you have a good Halloween costume. All right, this is a little bit odd, but I feel like meeting someone important could be tied to or around the same time as an injury. Not that I wish you to have any kind of injury, but you know, like you really hurt your elbow or your wrist ain't feeling right. There's something here with, I think specifically your arm. And it may be around the time that you meet this person. This person is initially not super stoked on exclusivity, but when they get to know you better, that becomes much more of a priority for them. So get your hair did, you know? All right, I love you guys. Thank you for the likes and the subscribes. And if you're able to hype my video, I appreciate that a ton. I'll see you on the next reading. Toodles.